Madeline has a strange and peculiar childhood. When she was 5 years old, she always saw her grandmother playing with dolls made of cotton, straw and cloth, and pierces them with sharp needles and pins. At that time, she thought that it was normal to play with dolls like that. She didn't know because she was not allowed to play with other kids her age. But she didn't mind at all, because her grandmother always let her to play with the dolls and needles. She has been under the care of her grandmother, after her mother died just months ago. Her mother was greatly disheartened and devastated, when their father left them for another woman. She fell into deep despair and depression that she forgot to take care of herself, became ill, then died. At a young age, Madeline was filled with hatred towards his father. She vowed to avenge her mother's death when the opportunity comes. She and her grandmother live in the outskirts of town, covered with thick forests. She's wondering why they don't have any neighbors. It's as if they have been secluded from the rest. But despite that, people are frequenting their place almost every day, and they seem to come from other towns. They always look troubled and bothered. Some were even crying. But after talking to her grandmother, their facial expressions changed radiantly, as if they have been given hope. Those were moments that were etched in Madeline's young mind. That her grandmother gives hope to everyone. One night, Madeline was asked by her grandmother to watch her do the ritual. At first, her grandmother was hesitant, but later on changed her mind eventually, because someone must continue their ways. Their gifts must not go to waste. Madeline saw her grandmother make a circle out of salt. In the center of the circle is a weird altar, which has a skull, lighted black candles, some potions, herbs, and a voodoo doll with a photo pinned to it. Her grandma knelt in front of the altar, and chanted incantations in an unfamiliar language. She dropped a few drops of the potion and candle wax on the picture while continuously chanting. Then, she pierced the doll's heart and head with the needle several times. The black candle's flames rose up higher. Madeline got scared and creeped out. But her grandmother explained everything. Day by day, as she witnesses her grandmother's rituals, she slowly understood the importance of their task and their responsibility to their clients. She considered themselves as bringer of justice. Years have passed and Madeline has attained mastery in their craft. She used her anger towards her father as a motivation to succeed. She wanted revenge. One night, she performed her long-term plan. She managed to get an old picture of her father from her mom's old things. She lighted black candles and chanted incantations, while holding a voodoo doll with the pinned photo. She poured a potion she made out of herbs and different venomous animals on the doll and picture. Then she brought out the jar of carnivorous beetles, worms and cockroaches. She whispered something to the insects then opened the jar. All the insects crawled or flew in one direction. At that same moment, his father, who was eating together with his new family at their dinner table, immediately felt his head cracking. He clasped his throat and scratched it ferociously. Then he started vomiting beetles, worms and cockroaches. Flies started flying out of his ears and nose. Blood began dripping from his eyes. His wife and children all screamed in terror. He tried to drive away the insects, but he hit his head on the corner of the table then fell on the floor, almost unconscious. The insects kept coming out of his mouth, then they entered again. Then he started scratching his heart repeatedly. After a few minutes, he stopped struggling, and breathed his last breath. All the insects left his lifeless body and went out of the house. Madeline knew that her ritual has worked. She smirked at his father's picture, tore it into pieces, then burned it using the black candle's flame. Indeed, revenge is sweet.